Question 8. Zara is the manager of a shop. The table gives information about the expenses the shop had last year. This year, the wages will increase by 7.5%. The rent will be 7/9 of the rent last year. The other expenses will halve. Zara wants to increase the amount of money she spends on goods. She also wants the total expenses the shop has this year to be the same as the last. Can Zara increase the amount of money she spends on goods? Well, first of all, it says that Zara wants to increase the amount of money she spends on goods, and she wants the total expenses of the shop this year to be the same as the last. So the total expenses last year is going to be 92,000, add 10,800, add 72,000, add 7,000. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So 92,000, add 10,800, add 72,000, add 7,000, and that gives us a total of £181,800. So this is the total for last year. Now we have to work out the increases and the decreases. So if we do wages first, so I'm going to write wages. Now she says this year the wages will increase by 7.5%. So we need to increase 92,000 by 7.5% first of all. Now obviously there's several ways to do it, but the quickest way is going to be 92,000 times 107.5%. As a multiplier, you could times 92,000 by 1.075, that would work as well. So 92,000 increasing by 7.5% is 98,900 pounds. So this is the new price of the wages. Now it also says that the rent will be 7/9 of the rent last year, so this will now decrease by 2/9, or we can find 7/9 of 10,800. So rent is 10,800, and we want 7/9 of 10,800, so we can times it by 7/9 in your calculator, or of course you can divide it by 9, which gives you 1/9, then times it by 7. Any of those methods is absolutely fine. So 10,800 times by 7/9. So the new price of rent will be 8,400. So let's see what else it says. The other expenses will halve. So let's do the other expenses. The other expenses was £7,000. Other expenses was £7,000, and we need to divide that by 2 as it's halves. It halved. And the new price for the expenses is 3,500. I think we're almost done. So Zara wants to increase the money she spends on goods, so she wants to increase the £72,000. Remember, the total money she spends has to be the same as last year, which is 181,800. Can she do it? So we still need to add on the goods, £72,000. Well, we could add on goods. So if we added on goods, So £72,000. Now if we add all of these up, that will show us whether she can actually increase the money for goods or if she's already overspent. Okay, so we need to find out how much she is spending this year if the price of goods were the same. Okay, so 98,900, add 8,400, add 3,500, add 72,000. Unfortunately, it's already, I believe, exceeded. So the total for this year is 182,800. Okay, so therefore, even with the price of goods being the same as last year, it's already more than the price, well, the amount of money she spent last year. So can Zara increase the amount of money she spends on goods? The answer, unfortunately for her, is no. And of course you can write a sentence to explain that as well. Okay? And that's it for question 8, which is worth 4 marks. So, question 8 is worth 4 marks, and the first mark for an attempt to find 7.5% of 92,000, or an increase of 7.5%, which is here. The second mark is for finding, well, an attempt to find a fraction of the amount of 10,800. The third mark is for successfully increasing 92,000 by 7.5% and successfully finding 7/9 of 10,800, which we have here and here. And the fourth mark is for statement, which we have here. But that must be backed up with 182,800 against 181,800. So 182,800 and 181,800 must be seen in order for you to get the fourth and final mark. Now, if you didn't add on the price of goods and you compared both values before you've added the price of goods on, you would have got 110,800 and 109,800 for the prices for last year and this year. Okay, and of course it's still not enough. Well, she can't increase her money spent on goods, so that method's absolutely fine as well. And that's it for question 8.